So today sucked, and we're here to tell you all about it. I'm Triss Leder.
And I'm Forrest Leder. And we're talking life, health, and sanity, and finding sunshine in the rain. So tell me about your day, Triss.
Well, let's see. I did a bunch of work today. I did a bunch of editing for the other podcast that we're a part of. And it was grueling and tiring, and it's almost done, so that's good. But I came downstairs and earlier this evening, and as wonderful, and I know as you and the kids are, and I know you guys did chores and stuff some today, I found myself wondering, where is my Mary Poppins?
Right.
Like, for serious, where is she? She's super late and needs to get her butt here, because I desperately need somebody that still likes my children, unlike myself.
You like your children.
I know, I'm joking, and somebody that could teach me, even more importantly, how to just snap my fingers and have the dishes go in the dishwasher and have the clothes fold themselves
and jump
into the drawer in the closet. Where is that? Because I need it. I don't know about any of the rest of y'all, but I need that so desperately badly. Because I can't do it. I can't keep up. There's always stuff. It never ends.
Yeah, you can't just sing a song and snap your fingers and everything, just happens. It all takes time. Yeah.
And you take that time, and I mean, I think most people could relate with this, but especially people with kids, that you take the time and you get it done, whatever it is, dishes or laundry or picking up or cleaning or whatever, and it never stays done for more than about an hour.
Yeah. And
I wish I was exaggerating that amount of time, but especially for the more acute things like dishes, that is legitimately there. It's never done. It is literally never done.
You want to know what I want to know?
What?
Where are all the spoons?
Mm-hmm.
They all get washed, and then they're just
they're never
gone.
There. They're never
they
enough.
Evaporate.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just where apparently we all need 7 spoons,
mm-hmm.
and we just hold them all in our hands at the same time to eat
for one meal.
That's what it feels like.
Wolverine with spoons. Yeah.
Spoonverine.
Oh no. Yeah, no, I get
Wolveroon.
But that was special.
I know.
Wow. No, but I think for me, it brings up a thing that you and I have definitely talked about at length, and it's the topic, a very large one, of well, why do I feel that way? Why do I care that there are dirty dishes, or that the laundry kind of gets used out of the clean basket instead of getting folded and put away and all this stuff? Well, because I have these expectations for myself and how my house is run and put together, and really in every aspect of my life, that for whatever reason are really high. They're really high.
Yeah.
And not that that's a bad thing. I don't think having high expectations in a general sense is bad. But I think we have found that it can be a detrimental thing to have high expectations that are simultaneously unrealistic.
Yeah, it's having standards that don't take into account what you can reach. Maybe if that thing was in a vacuum, mm-hmm. that it would be
right
doable, but we don't live in a vacuum.
Right.
Although the amount of times that we vacuum, we probably could and still be okay because we wouldn't get covered because we don't vacuum enough.
That's very, very fair. But so then, Forrest.
Yes.
How do you find the happy medium? How do you find the realistic expectation without just letting everything go?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's prioritizing some, just going like I don't have enough time in my day to make all of these things happen. So what's the most important part of it? And I'm not real great at that. Would like to get better. Mm-hmm. Like to have my decisions be more impactful.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, it's and it goes into this health stuff that was a big part of why we started doing this as well. Mm-hmm. Because you look at the health and beauty standards that exist out in the world. And obviously different cultures have differing kinds of standards of beauty. But, we live in the U.S. And so we're bombarded with all of these images of the super fit, super cut kind of actors, actresses, models, all those kinds of people. You watch a superhero movie and you see the guy there and he's got biceps as big around as some people's heads and, massive chest muscles and a V shape that could only have been drawn by a cartoonist. But then you look at yourself, or rather I look at myself and I go, I was drawn by a different cartoonist.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we don't need to harp on the unrealistic beauty standards in general, because that's... I was going to say it's done to death, because it is. It's everywhere. It's pervasive. It's almost as pervasive as the standards themselves. But why doesn't that make me feel any better?
Yeah, why can't we take that idea, that knowledge that we know it's unrealistic. Yeah. But why doesn't that sink into the emotional core of who we are to be able to make the decisions? Yeah. One of the things that my bosses say at my work is beliefs drive actions. Right. And so what is it that we really believe? Like, do we actually believe that they are unrealistic standards? And how do we get there? How do we figure out, this isn't what I want. I don't want to spend 8 hours a day with a, personal trainer, eating crazy kinds of stuff to try and have this one type of image of who I am. I want to have a really well-rounded life where I get to do the things that I enjoy, spend time with the people I want to spend time with, have time that I can invest in my spiritual life, and have fulfilling work. I want to have all of those things, and trying to figure out, what then do I set for my standards for myself? Right. How do I know that I'm successful? How do I know that I'm doing the right thing? Right. Yeah, and that's a hard thing to try and break down into sort of split yourself from your emotional belief on a thing and come to, goals or plans or whatever is difficult, and it's even more difficult to actually carry those things out, separate from what you sort of feel in this area, the middle feel area of yourself. And
I don't know. It's something that I think is worth discussing, and I think obviously is worth working on. And I think it's also a good idea probably to have more of a consistent reminder of, oh, this thing isn't realistic. This thing isn't something that I should be working for anyway. I saw an article or blog or something going around like the Twitter feeds and stuff in the last few months, regarding the wonderful, lovely Zac Efron, who this is how old I am. I know from High School Musical fame, but that's fine. That's neither here nor there. But there's this like picture of him side by side with himself, and one was from when he was in Baywatch. That really horrendously awful Baywatch movie. We watched it. We enjoyed it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And then another picture of him sometime in the last 6 months or a year in, I don't remember what movie it was, something else. And the title of the thing was like, look at Zac Efron's dad bod. And if you take a look at it, like, his muscles aren't quite as well defined. And so it isn't like an 8-pack there. And he's got body hair. Like, I'm sorry, that's not a dad bod. That's
right. A dad bod is sort of peanut shaped.
Yes, exactly. As you read through the article, and then there's some people who kind of refuted it and whatnot. The actor himself talks about when he looked like that in Baywatch, he was miserable. He hadn't eaten carbs in like 2 years, and he was down to whatever % body fat, but he wasn't allowed to drink water, and he wasn't this, and he wasn't that in order to get that right look for the camera. And so I would go even a step further of, not only is it not realistic, it's literally not possible to live your life like that. Like, you can do that for a short amount of time. People who are like show bodybuilders and whatnot, they have a certain diet and whatnot that they follow leading up to a show.
Right.
Don't ask me what it is. I don't know. But it's intense. Any one of them will tell you this is not long term.
Yeah, no, they only do those cuts like right at time for, it's like the weekend of a show or whatever.
Yeah. So just like looking at a model in a magazine who has most likely been photoshopped within an inch of her life, it's not only is it not realistic, it simply just is not reality.
Yeah.
And I find I do better if I have reminders of that around, of what is actually realistic and what I want my life to look like. I certainly, I don't have a desire to never eat pasta again.
No, I
will take being larger than maybe everybody thinks I should be or whatever, if that means that I get to have garlic bread, or whatever. Yeah. Should I have less than I do currently? Absolutely.
Probably.
Absolutely. I'm not an advocate here for my current diet because it stinks. But do I want to go to the other extreme just to have or try to have that sort of ideal? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I get that.
So, and I think that goes same for the dishes.
Yeah.
I could go to the extreme of, making sure that I do a load or two of laundry every day and that the dishes are done before we go to bed and that we pick everything up before we go to bed. I could do that. We could do that. But a big reason why we have not chosen to do so is that we like to watch a movie together. We like to play a game together. We like to do this thing together.
Yeah.
And so achieving that isn't going to look the way I think it's going to.
Yeah. I think back on some of those times where we've had, I feel like, some of the most intense personal growth. And some of the things that have made the biggest difference in like our relationship growth, our ability to understand each other, to understand ourselves. And what I'm thinking of right now is that we were spending a lot of time listening to and reading stuff that was focused on improving in different areas. And then talking about it. Right. Like we're talking about stuff in general right now, but I think that maybe one of the things that I'm going to incorporate going forward is adding like personal growth reading time to what I'm doing. Maybe first thing in the morning as I'm having my cup of coffee or whatever, instead of scrolling through Twitter, that I take and read some of a book that's designed to help me to get better at stuff, at personing.
Yeah, and I like that a lot. Being willing to take the wisdom of other people is something that I think is important, and I haven't always been good at. And I know that there are plenty of people who are not great at it or just flat out don't. And there's really something to be said for not reinventing the wheel. You know, look for that. You want to get better at an area. So I want to get better at keeping my house tidy. So I need to look for somebody who does that.
Yeah, who excels in that area.
And learn from them because they've done it. And it may be, you know, something that we have found useful in, you know, reading those kinds of books and trying to grow in different specific areas is what we lovingly call the shopping cart method, which is you don't have to follow everything to a T. Take the things that you like, leave the things that you don't. And usually you end up with some sort of, you know, amalgamation hybrid of things. But then that means that that's the thing, that's the combination that works for you. And so you look for those people that have the thing that you have, and then you do what they do.
Yeah. So I think in this part here, then, so we've got kind of an action plan around that. And, you know, if you're listening to this, I don't know if you are, but if you are, and you have ideas, if you have books that no, knock that off. So, if you've got ideas about books that we should take a look at, or you know, podcasts or blogs or whatever that you have found valuable, tell us about it. You know, put something in the comments, because you know, we're excited to try and get better at this stuff, and you know, we'll keep an eye on that stuff, and we'll let you know what we find.
Yes, please help us. We need lots of help.
Yeah, and we can't afford it, so you know, we're looking for handouts. So
good grief!
Hand out some personal growth to us.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, thank you so much for listening. I am Forrest Leder. You can find me on Twitter at Fearless Leader, where I talk about all kinds of really geeky gaming kinds of stuff and whatnot.
He's not joking, y'all. It's crazy.
It's a lot.
And I'm Triss Leder. I'm on Twitter at Triss_joy. And I'm not quite as nerdy, but I'm up there. And we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear suggestions. We're always looking for the wisdom to be gained from the people around us.
Yeah. And if you like what we're doing and you want to share it with your friends, we appreciate it. You know, we feel blessed and honored that you're with us, and we're excited to keep sharing. So...
Hey, you can tell that it's time to be done because I'm yawning already, so you better get us out of here.
Yeah, you're turning into a pumpkin.
I guess so.
See you next time, suckers.